Welcome back. Well, lost in all the Bears hoopla, don't forget Governor Pritzker revealed his budget priorities for the current session in Springfield, signaling no major tax hikes, but some nipping and tucking around the edges, or $200 million social media tax, if you don't call that a major tax hike. Also in his proposal, a commission to kickstart more home building and penalties for those social media companies as well for hooking kids on their products. So here for a view on the other side of the aisle is Illinois Republican House Leader Tony McCombie from downstate Savannah, Illinois. Hey, Tony. So the governor said that if you're unhappy with his budget, you don't like the spending levels, you don't like the taxing levels, take it up with the Trump administration, because he says some of these cuts to federal spending will cost the state upwards of $8 billion. Is that a number that you put on it?
No, and we're actually looking into that number, but that's the whole point. His budget proposal was completely about blame. The fiscal house that we have here in Illinois didn't come because of the Trump administration. Is there some things that we're uncertain about? Absolutely. But that being said, he's not taking any accountability for his own actions, or that we've had one party control for about 50 years minus two.
And we mentioned $200 million in social media fees. Do you think this is a fair place to go, soaking these kind of massive tech conglomerates? What do you make of that tax?
Yeah, I don't think that the overall, the proposal that he is submitting is anything to do with fixing the state, but more so to manage the decline of the state. And this is no different than the last two budgets that we've had, nickel diming. You know, to me and you, $1 billion is a lot of money. Maybe to him, it's not. But we're looking at close to $1 billion again this year, no different than the last 2 years. You keep doing that and nickel diming, the only result that ends up happening is people end up leaving.
And we know that Moody's has predicted a net outflow of residents this year and economic growth that lags the rest of the nation. To the another point with this social media stuff, are Republicans on board some of the plans that the governor, some of the broad-based plans he's talked about to try to hold them accountable for possibly addicting kids on their products as you see this Meta trial play out?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how that bill is actually crafted. I mean, certainly we all support safety of children. First and foremost, that's our job, is, to public safety. So we'll have to see how it's crafted before we can really say yes or no on that one.
All right, so the Bears, Indiana, looks like they're going to raise taxes in Lake County to foot at least $1 billion toward a stadium there. You wouldn't want Illinois to do that, would you? I mean, you would never support Illinois proposing $1 billion in tax hikes to give as subsidies for a stadium.
Yeah, no, that would not be the right move for taxpayers. And this is the JB's game to lose here. And that'll say something if he can't figure this out. It is, like I've said from day one, public-private partnerships work. I hope that Arlington and the Bears can come to some sort of agreement. I hope that we actually get a decent bill that comes through, if that is what the administration wants. But maybe they don't care about keeping the Bears. I don't really know. We're not in on those conversations, but it has to make sense for the taxpayers first and foremost.
Does it make sense to you? We reported that story of the Chicago Park District pitching about a $630 million package to refurbish Soldier Field once the Bears leave, to make it ready for concerts. And about $500 million of that they would ask for road fund money for infrastructure. Is that a fair payment, given the fact that there is this hotel tax that pays off the debt, and it is in the city's interest to keep hotels occupied?
Yeah, here again, it's just another diversion of the road tax that was sold as a safe roads amendment, is put in a lockbox. We've already seen with the transit bill that was passed during veto session that they don't care about the lockbox. They don't care about what the Illinois wants. And, there again, that's just going to continue to be another tax increase, diversion of our funds. We rural Illinois are mostly paying for this gas tax and for the infrastructure. And that certainly shouldn't be diverted for the Park District to use at their leisure.
The governor also, on the topic of the Bears, I am hearing that there might be some action tomorrow. Is that what you're hearing, potentially in the Revenue Committee, that they drop an amendment and they start debating it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's an 11 o'clock meeting or a committee meeting, which is actually not normal for the first day back. So we'll see. There's two vehicles that they could be using. So we'll have to wait and see what they actually come up with.
All right, we'll wait and see. We'll follow that tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
One more item in the governor's speech. He made mention of and acknowledged the housing crunch here in Illinois, especially in the Chicago area. Prices are inflated, and there is definitely a demand for more housing, but not a whole lot coming on the market. Do you agree with some of his plans, and what would Republicans do to fix this issue?
Yeah, no, I think it's great that we should have a conversation about affordable housing, and it affects everywhere, not just in Chicago for sure, but to go ahead and be a kingmaker and say we're going to take away zoning for all our municipalities and put these accessory units where they want to put them is really not a thoughtful way, and certainly, quite honestly, is going to increase property taxes rather than lowering property taxes, as well as cutting the local government funds again. And again, not putting $50 million in his budget proposal for property tax relief through the education funding formula. So to say that you're going to have affordable housing in one way and you're going to make municipalities do it the way that you want and then do nothing to lower our property taxes is a real issue. And we could, and as the state of Illinois and Republicans are here, we want to look at lowering our taxes holistically and actually passing policy that's going to grow our tax base rather than our tax rate.
All right, Tony McCombie, House GOP leader in Springfield, thank you very much. And on that note that you bring up, Tony, I want to remind all our viewers that we're wrapping up our debate series ahead of the March 17th primary election. So tomorrow night, we got the Republican candidates for governor. They are squaring off. We've got Ted Dabrowski, James Mendrick, and Rick Heidner. Darren Bailey did not agree to come, but you can still change your mind in the next 24 hours. We'd gladly welcome you. And on Wednesday, two-part debate featuring 6 Democrats running for the 9th congressional district seat. That one, the mud has been flinging, the dollars have been flying, and we are going to have them all face-to-face here. We're still accepting questions. Paris on Politics at Fox.com.